This week is the 4-month anniversary of this little podcast, and I wanted to take the opportunity for a quick celebration and small reflection. So sorry that today it will be just me and no guest, but I promise I will make it quick and worth your while. First of all, I would love to welcome some of the new listeners and combine it also with a more in-depth introduction about myself, as some of you have been asking me about what it actually is that I'm doing outside of this podcast, as I'm dropping some bits and pieces here and there in the conversations with the guests. On that note, I would also love to ask for your feedback. If you have been one of the early listeners, to help me get a feeling for whether you like this format and contents and the guest selection and what I can improve. If you're up for a rare solo episode, then stay on. Let's start with the feedback. You can imagine it is really hard to grasp the resonance for a podcast with no direct audience. And as I am producing this podcast not only for my own enjoyment of having conversations with amazing people, but also for you, you would do me a really big favor if you could fill out the 3-minute survey that I'm linking in the show notes. Please be very honest and constructive in what you like about this podcast and what else you would wish for. I am already aware of some flaws myself, like why the heck is the sound of my mic not always the same and clear, despite me using every time the same setup. So sorry about that, we're working on it. And I'm curious to hear also which episode was your favorite so far, for example. Of course, I have the analytics and statistics, but some real, comments and takeaways maybe would be very insightful. And I'm also always wondering which topics and perspectives I'm missing, taking into consideration that this podcast is still quite young, so we have a lot of ground to cover still. But if you have any suggestions on how to involve some missing, neglected voices or people, organizations, backgrounds that you would love to hear on this show, let me know. Maybe I know someone who has the connections. Maybe you have the connections. So let's hear the stories that that are important to listen to. And if there are any particular topics that you're interested in with relation to exploring what social regeneration is, let me know. What is a question that you're holding? What is a tension that you see that we should dive deeper into? Or what is an approach that really inspired you or that you're curious about? And I will see how I can incorporate this here. And of course, I would also love to hear if you don't fully enjoy this podcast and cannot full-heartedly recommend, this show. Maybe you're wondering, what the heck are they talking about? Why this podcast? Yeah, let me know. I am super curious to, just hear what bugs you so that we can see if we can and want to improve it. And all of this because I am an innovation coach and I'm taking my own advice of testing and asking for real feedback and then iterating quite seriously. So, of course, perfection is not possible with the limited resources that I'm operating under, but I will try my best. So, if you do generally enjoy what you hear on this show, please also let me know by giving us, me and my podcast manager, a little small sign, by leaving a little review, and most importantly, share it with your network and colleagues if you think this, the stories of the guests, the personal stories are worth sharing and listening to. I'm also super curious to hear what your take so far is on this exploratory question that we're operating under. So let me know in any comments, whether it's on YouTube, Instagram, LinkedIn, what your current take on social regeneration is. Regeneration in general, but social regeneration in particular. I would love to incorporate and synthesize different voices, your thoughts for one later episode, maybe later this year, where I will attempt to draw a short resume and summary on social regeneration. For now, I think it's too early to grasp it, and I would just love to have some further conversations first. One feedback that I did receive in the past weeks was questions about me and my actual job. And yes, you are right. This podcast is not my main job. It is actually just a very time and resource intense pleasure project for now, to be fully honest and transparent. And I find it, however, a relevant question to ask, as knowing what experiences someone is coming from or speaking from is important for trust building. Which I experienced the hard way just a couple of weeks ago at an event where the facilitators of a very diverse group missed an introductory round of all participants, and framing around empathic dialogue and then the self-moderated discussions. In this setting, people were quickly judged without knowing the full story of the person that they were talking to and engaging with. So this is why I totally get the point of, who is this woman? What is she actually doing? What is she representing? And so I'm happy to shed a bit more light into some of the bits and pieces that I'm dropping here and there in some random comments throughout the conversations with my guests here, where I make connections to the work that I'm doing, previous work that I did, or offer examples from my current work experience. And it is only fair that some of you are confused. And as it is not fully self-explanatory and clearly evident what I'm doing. So I will not go into depth of my past work experiences today. I will focus on my current work, but if you're interested in knowing what I have done working in sustainability for the past 10 years, stalk me on LinkedIn or let me know via DM that you are interested in, and then I can for sure share a bit more about insights from my working in sustainability for a decade now. All right, let's for now focus on what I'm currently doing so we can potentially also identify synergies of collaboration, shared interests maybe, or shared pathways. And I will try to explain you how my work is currently structured, and with a disclaimer that it is constantly changing over time. So in, I don't know, 6 months from now, it might be completely different again. But what I'm sharing today is what I'm currently operating with. So currently, you could say that my work is basically split into two sections, if you want so. One is B2B and the other is B2C, so business to business and business to consumer, customer, client, however you name it. And then this podcast and some other community events that I'm part of, working also on, I would even almost categorize as a third category, like the B2 peer section. But let's focus on the first two for today. So B2B, business to business, is where I offer my time, skills, expertise in system change, transformation processes, and sustainable development to teams in organizations. Collaborations can be one-off workshops on, for example, system change or circular economy, or lately also regenerative project management. And it can also be multiple months-long collaborations on bigger culture transformation programs in organizations. It can be designing trainings on sustainable innovation, facilitating strategic alignment in leadership teams, or also developing engagement formats for employees that are mission driven and making sure that the sustainability strategy can actually be implemented. So here I usually work together with corporates or agencies, consultancies, SMEs as well, social enterprises, or also educational institutions. And to give you just a few examples, as this still is quite vague maybe for you, or quite vast and broad. So earlier this year, for example, I have collaborated with the Do Catalyst on a training for Mercedes-Benz leaders to become mentors for eco-entrepreneurs. And another example, in August, September, I will deliver a 6-week course together with Hyper Island in Sweden on sustainability strategy and organizational transformation for aspiring sustainability professionals. And I really love the variety of project partnerships, stakeholders, and I'm always open to explore the potential of new collaborations. So if you're interested, just send me a DM, let's have a coffee call, and let me know what your project or program or strategy is about, what your next goal is, and see if I can support you with my experience. And then the other part, let's say maybe 50% of my work time, I dedicate to my own direct clients. So the B2C services, where I offer one-on-one and group mentorings for aspiring professionals. And I offer those courses and mentorings basically for 3 different pathways that people can take towards creating working realities that are aligned with their values. So, as some of my past experience lies in developing innovative business models for sustainability, and I also believe that we need to rethink our products and services to serve actual needs that people and planet have, and do that in sustainable ways and not just with pseudo satisfiers. I support impact driven entrepreneurs in their early stages to make sure that they address actual root causes, not just symptoms. And I guide them in my mentoring through the first steps of choosing strategically the best idea to intervene in the system. And also, we're doing some first prototyping and testing of the impact projects. Ideally, they already have some first clients or collaborations after a 6-month period. So whether you start as a solopreneur, want to seed a community project, or just explore the opportunities of that one passion project or the multiple passion projects in your drawer of your desk, I'm here to guide you with some innovation tools and workbooks, and also cheer you on in moments of doubt, because this is also part of the entrepreneurial journey, the fear. And actually, on that note, we are currently hosting, facilitating, offering an open workshop that is for free for early entrepreneurs, together with my colleague Anastasia, who's the founder of the ASEA community for changemakers, on July 15th. And this workshop is all about exploring, like facing your fears, exploring your roadblockers, and also sharing those with others, because this is something that in this innovation field often is neglected, and especially for first time early entrepreneurs, This can already be where your dream, gets lost, doesn't get to live at all. So this is why we're hosting this workshop on July 15th, and I will link it in the show notes. Apart from creating the new, I also see a big transformational power and have admiration for people who choose to stay in the current system and drive change from within. So from within currently unsustainable, non-regenerative industries. And I call these people impact transformers. It really takes courage, patience, and perseverance to change current power dynamics or try to influence them, and also redesign processes and rewire mindsets that are currently the dominant paradigm. And in all those years working with different companies and different industries, I met again and again people who want to learn more about sustainability and also use their expertise, experience, network, and influence in their current workplace to make the organizations better. And often the biggest hurdle is to find allies and to trust yourself enough that you know enough about sustainability to pitch and propose your sustainability in your organization. And for that, sometimes a sparring partner and also an external impulse giver can be a game changer. So if this is you, know that you are a rare gemstone, and I'm happy to strategize together how to use your insider knowledge and match it with my external expertise as a sustainability consultant, and see what we can do. You can book a free exploration call where we can check if we are a good match, and I will be very honest if I can help you or not. And then sometimes the discrepancy between one's own values and those of the people in power positions around you are just too big. And it might be healthier to know when to let go and find out where your expertise and energy is invested better. So, as many people came to me over the past years after workshops or who were referred via friends to connect with me or simply reached out to me on LinkedIn, I started offering mentorings also for impact job seeker. So, purpose driven professionals with a different background than sustainabilities who want to change their careers from that extractive, exploitative industry that they potentially are currently in, or just like that not so fulfilling job, and who are looking to work for a positive cause. And after mentoring more than 10 people officially in the last year, I decided to make my best tips, tools, and insights also available on an online platform and created a small course with mentoring support. And if you're interested to know more about that, so if you identify as an impact job seeker, just reach out to me directly and I will send you all the details about this course in mentoring. And yeah, just know that I do not offer traditional career coaching, but I can give you an overview of different impact roles and impact fields and support your career change process through some self-development practices, for example, and some sustainability tools and mindsets that we also weave into the mentoring and that are also part of the course. So I can give you feedback on your applications, but there are also much better, smarter, more strategic and fun ways to get into the sustainability field. And one of them we like to call network weaving. So if you're curious about that, just let me know. Well, I hope this gave you a good enough understanding of my current formal arrangements and commitments and roles and offers. And if you want to know more, feel invited to stalk my website or LinkedIn. Just know that my website is a constant DIY under construction project. But I hope it's clear enough now with the latest version that you get a feeling for this B2B offerings and the B2C offerings and these three different target groups or people personas that that I can support currently. That's it for this week. And for next week, I'm actually thinking that I would love to discuss with you some other rather current topics that I myself am exploring and share with you some of the questions that I am holding based on some trainings and events that I have attended myself lately. Because I think there is, some magic in living the questions and speaking them out loud and, just learning and growing. So, what do you think? Let me know in the comments or in the survey if you're interested to hear some more background thoughts of what is not keeping me up at night, but what is, just inspiring me lately to explore and learn more in depth about. And after that, we are back for sure to some guest episodes. As usual, this will definitely stay the go-to format unless you have other feedback for me. Love and enjoy my rambling about myself, which I personally don't enjoy so much. So, but if it's important for you, of course, I'm happy to also to share some more of my my journey with you. See you next week. Take care of yourself and others. Your host, Pia.